Hey, my Aquarius and Taurus babies, what's happening? This is EJ from Taurota Tarot. Hope everybody's having a good holiday weekend here in the Americas. I believe it's Labor Day weekend. Yeah, Corona got me all screwed up. I don't know one holiday from the next no more. Anyway, this is Aquarius and Taurus sitting in a tree. Kissing. Just off the rip. Know that the devil is going to make an appearance in this reading. I'm just throwing it out there. There have been some changes. I just checked my little spreadsheet. I did Aquarius and Taurus August 16th. I did Taurus and Aquarius, I think the new one here, a few days ago. So the energy has changed, or this may not even resonate with you at all. Eat the fish, leave the bones, as grandmama used to say. Don't choke on nothing that don't belong to you. Some of y'all are making some changes. Some of y'all are making some changes. Yeah. And this is got feet. So all of it's probably not going to resonate with everybody. The bits and pieces of it will probably resonate with a lot of you. So just before I put the emotional stuff out here, just looking at what's on here. This has been a challenge for you, Aquarius, and I mean rightfully so. The union itself is tricky when you're dealing with air, the element, and earth, the element. I mean, what you doing? Blowing the dust around, or the dust blowing you around, however that's going. But it's not because you think differently. And just by virtue of the fact that you're dealing with an earth sign, Aquarius, they got their hooves on the ground all the time, right or wrong. Stubborn as hell, just like you, because they're fixed sign too. It's difficult sometimes for Taurus to take a step back out of the meadow and see the big picture, because we're grinders. That's all. We're hustlers. At the end of the day, that's what Tauruses are about. We're about our business and what we're doing. We do hell with a big picture and some more shit. Just as soon put my horns through that. And then to look at it, we're trying to make sure that everything around us that personally affects us is right. Whether that's got anything to do with anything else, by having a dream or some other shit, Taurus really doesn't care. As long as they can come home at the end of the day and sit down on their designated sofa, designated snack in hand, that's what they're doing. So I see the challenges here. I feel the challenge. I feel a lot of insecurity with you, Aquarius, because that is the essence of who you aren't. You are not about sitting at home. Some of you, depending on what you have in your natal chart, you may have energy that affects, how you see home and any of that. But by and large, you're about exploring and challenging old ways of doing things. This is a reminder. I do my cards straight up. Don't do reversals. Oh yeah, there's a Lotus card there. Ooh, I got something in it and everything going on. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh shit. Okay. So yeah, I'm right. And some of you, let's just get that part up on the wall first. Some of y'all are gonna break up. Now whether or not that's gonna be long term or short term is gonna be another decision altogether. But some of you are going to pull apart because Taurus is changing as well. They're trying to not be so earthbound, and not so much because they want to change, but because shit is happening to make them change. There's a lot of planetary shit going on with Taurus, and they're in an element right now with Uranus in the sign of Taurus for the next 6 years. Been there since last year. Our values are being shaken at the core. So while you are presenting this as a challenge and you got to persevere through it, and that's exactly what the hell I wrote up there, and you know, you got to keep growing and getting a new ore and doing some more shit, it's also feeling like a lack of affection from Taurus because they're changing. And so while that Three of Swords is in your energy, that's how you're feeling. And it may be keeping you at a distance. So even if you're cohabiting, you may be kind of just not, y'all are just walking in circles in the house. You know, one go in the bathroom, one go in the kitchen, and just kind of rotate from there. And that's making you, as I say that, I know Aquarius, that's making you uneasy because that's not, as much as you like to distance for other reasons and do your own thing, this is not making you feel comfortable. It's almost like there's something there. I can almost see it in the card, like he's looking for something that's, you know, he just can't see why he can't see what's there. And that's the energy there. On the back end of your overall energy, with the King of Wands sitting on top of the Page of Cups, you're feeling like the things that you know, your wisdom, it's just making you anxious. Things that you think you know, especially from an emotional level, it's the Page of Cups. It's making you anxious. You can't, because you don't know. Once again, it's the full circle. You don't know what it is you're not seeing or what you're not grasping. When we look at the recent past, like I said, Devil was going to show up. There he is, sitting on top of the Two of Wands. At one point, and this is going back maybe 3 or 4 months, y'all trying to plan, do some shit, trying to progress. You see my little trees up there with the little buds on it. Trying to make some progress. But I don't know if I want to say you feel like your desires have been denied, or you weren't able to see the light of reason for planning anything because it was too restrictive. That's the word I'm going to use. It's too restrictive. So while you're making these plans, you're not sure that you really want to go forward with them. You're not trying to see the light of reason because it doesn't make sense to you to do all this planning, and you feel like Taurus is not looking at the big picture, which then brings us over here, to the Strength card with sitting on top of the Judgment card, sitting on top of that Judgment, talking about acceptance and having to accept that your Taurus is the person that they're just the person that they are. They are who they are. Also, on the other side of that, Taurus accepting you for who you are, but the Strength, and that's the back end of this, the Strength, nobody is in balance enough. That's on the front side. Nobody is in balance enough or has strength enough to go through this transformation together, because y'all have been in and out, back and forth, up and down. It's been one little drama after the other. And so now, this recent past, when it came to trying to make any kind of transformative type shit, y'all like, I don't know. In the line, like, you know what? How about this? I'm gonna just sit here. Y'all want to take a picture of my mane? Go ahead, but I just ain't got no energy for that. Which then probably had you in isolation mode, Aquarius, which is cool. Thinking about what is it that makes this situation feel so unhappy and unequal. I wrote that on there. But that's how you feeling. And that's how you were feeling. Bringing it into the current energy, the Temperance, sitting on top of the love, with the Lover sitting on top of the Temperance, trying to regain your balance. So there's been some retreat here. Y'all might not be talking right now. You may have, some of you may have actually split up. And so now you're trying to find your own balance, get back to your own sense of identity. For some of you, it is Ali Ali Infree on the sex slide. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Because you have felt, again, that earth energy has made you feel kind of restricted, like, what the fuck? So now you're trying to find your balance. And so you might be back out there dibbling and dabbling with an ex or somebody else, who knows? But they're bringing about changes. And what it's really asking you to do, this is the back end of the Lover's card, let go of whatever illusion that you have and become aware of who you are. That's where you are right now. You may have an illusion, you know, that Taurus, and again, depending on somebody's natal chart and where certain things are placed in your natal chart, Taurus that you're dealing with may come off as, you know, adventurous and, hey, let's get it and do whatever. But then when you get to the core of them, they are very much about their family and what's going on around them and being comfortable in their environment. Your centerpiece and your challenge. Oh, what do I want to say? If you want this to work, it'll work. If you want it to work, it'll work. But what you've got to remember, you're going to have to be creative about this. That's the best thing I know how to say. You are going to have to be creative about this. The magician, what strikes me is the infinity sign over his head. And the energy is that you guys have been kind of going around in this loop, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It may have had you feeling overwhelmed, lacking abundance within the relationship. If you love this person, Aquarius, you can do this. That's the bottom line to all of this. If you love this person, you can do this. Your challenge, I'm going to say, is to probably try and figure out in the next month if this is something that you want to do. And then making a decision about moving forward and doing it. With the Magician card, even though that's the back of it, that creative intelligence, that infinity card, that loop, changing that loop and bringing something different. Taurus is changing. If you aren't, Taurus is changing, definitely. So you may want to, there's a conversation that needs to be had, obviously. Several, probably. So you can, if this is what you want to do. And probably the best way to approach this with a Taurus is, do you want to be in this relationship? Do you want to stay in this relationship? Or do you want this relationship? Those are questions you probably are going to have to understand. And looking over at the Five of Pentacles, it's that hopeless feeling, and the Six of Wands, if you don't get the misunderstandings and the disrespect, I'm just looking at the card and looking at what's on here. If both of you are not open-minded enough, this is all it's going to get you. Some of you may be walking into any kind of conversations and negotiations feeling hopeless, like this is just a dead end, there's no way this could work or whatever. But there's feeling here. There's love here. There's love here. So that makes it that much harder to just say, fuck it, I'm walking away. I'll be back for my shit on Friday. That's difficult when you love somebody, especially when you know your relationship. And once again, I'm coming back to this. You know the relationship's got potential. You're trying to see, what is it that you're missing? What are you missing in that picture? You get to your future energy with the Hangman in reverse, the backside. You're going to have a total change of perspective, and you're going to have to just make a decision if you're going to choose love or if you're not going to choose nothing with your Taurus and just leave it go. If you choose it, you got to understand you're going to have to combine Taurus's family-oriented shit with Aquarius's visionary shit. I said that correctly, and it's on that card just like that. But that's what you're going to have to combine. You're going to have to combine the home and hearth with the Aquarian big vision and come up. Some of you, it might behoove you to think about going into business together. That in turn may help channel some of that restrictive energy for Aquarius and some of that out there too much visionary energy for Taurus. So that's something to think about. But the star card, Aquarius, this is you. Come on now. Actually, this is an Empress. I'm sorry, but shit, the star card, it's got stars on it, damn it. Creative love. Thinking outside of the box. Thinking outside of the... Damn it, the stars are there. What are your dreams? What are your individual dreams and what are your dreams together? What are they? Have you had that conversation yet, or have y'all just been circling around the wagon with other crap? I said it like that, but have you gotten to the meat and potatoes? And sometimes for Aquarius, Taurus, now I'm talking to you, that can be scary. That can be a scary subject to broach. But if you're trying to get in a relationship, it's one you have to have without anybody feeling like it's too exacting or somebody's controlling. Come on now. Trying to combine that family stuff with the visionary stuff. The Empress tells me, yes, you can. You can. At the end of this, it's the transition. Now, where you transitioning is going to be totally up to you. There are going to be losses. Now, let's talk about the losses. Y'all know, how's going to be losses when we get together? There are going to be losses. Because, again, Taurus is going to have things that they're going to want compromised on. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. It's going to be losses. If you break up the relationship, that's a loss for both of you. If you stay together, there are going to be some things that have to be sacrificed. Just saying. In order to, and that's going to be up to each individual situation. It could be friends, it could be time, it could be money, it could be this, it could be that. But there are going to be some losses. And in those losses, once again, talking about compromising. Are you willing? Are you willing? Are you willing? You're going to have this because the Page of Cups sitting up here in your overall energy. You're trying to manifest this moment anyway. Page is a messenger. So you're going to manifest this conversation, but are you ready to have it? And at the end of all of this, whichever way you decide to go, which way are you willing to take the loss? Because again, there's love here. This is some deep-rooted, deep-seated shit. This ain't no, old fly-by-night booty call type shit. This is real shit. So the thing is, are you going to be willing to deal with whatever the losses are without being deceitful? Come on. You're going to have to put your cards up on the table. But are you going to be willing to accept whatever the losses are? I think for some of you, when it comes to the relationship itself, you're not going to be willing to lose that relationship, Aquarius. Even though it's a pain in your ass. Shit you just don't understand about Taurus is making you sick. And making your stomach just, because you're so insecure about it. My best thing would be to talk to Taurus. Taurus is practical, so they're going to tell you how they're feeling about something. If you have any part of your relationship in question about your Taurus, ask. That honesty that you're seeking, that honesty that you're looking for, Aquarius, it's there. You got to ask some questions though. Taurus is not just going, does Taurus even know what you want them to say? Let's put it that way. What you going to add? No, probably not. Because you probably did this, probably still got some of this going on because you're trying to figure shit out in your own head. But in that process, you still need to be communicating. Back to basics. Expect the best. I dug it. Call on your joy guys. Okay. Let's see what else we got for Aquarius and Taurus. We'll just get them all out before I open my mouth. Don't waste your time. Take a second look. Oh, Lord. Know your limits. So for some of you, this is exactly what you need to hear. Again, this reading is not for everybody. It's not going to be for everybody. But for some of you, just looking at what's on the board, you're done. Because you can't get past the misunderstandings, the disrespect, the back and forth, you know, always feeling like you're falling out about something that's not worth anything as far as you're concerned, Aquarius. So for some of you, taking a second look, don't even waste your time. On the other side of that, some of you need to take a second look. Stop and look. Again, when I pull this up, this is love. I get all the warm fuzzies and shit in my chest. If you love this person, take a second look at the relationship. Everything can be compromised on, including my garbage can, having a moment. Take a second look. Everything can be compromised on. There are things that I'm sure Taurus feeling the same way about you that you feel about them. They'll negotiate with you. They will. They're practical like that. At the end of all of this, know your limits. Know your limits. If this is something you can't do, if this is way beyond your ballywick and what you understand about relationships, know your limits. And if you can't do it, don't do it. And then in having a conversation with Taurus, tell them what your limits are. You know, if you are one of those Aquarians, you don't want nobody telling you what you need to be doing. Taurus can be good for that sometimes. We're going to tell you. Before we gore you, we're going to tell you. So if that's one of those things that just annoys the hell out of you, you know, because Taurus, again, being about home and family and hearth and stability, they know at some point they have to take the lead on some things because they want shit the way they want it. So if that's something you can't deal with, know your limits. Get back to basics. Get back to basics. Maybe this is a period for you, Aquarius, that you need to just step off, take a step back, and get out of your head for a minute and just get back to doing the basic things that you need to do. If you're cohabiting, living together, you know, instead of trying to do all the fun, frilly shit and having a cookout every other weekend, doing whatever it is you do, or hanging out and whatever, scale it back a bit. Scale it back a bit. If you guys have a lot of people around you all the time, might be time to scale that back. Call on your joy guides so that you're not always dwelling on a negative. Aquarius already has a tendency to be positive, but a situation like this might have you feeling kind of down in the dumps. Call on your joy guides, and then at the end of all of this, expect the best. Just expect the best. You deserve the best. Aquarius and Taurus both. You both deserve the best. So expect the best. Even if that means you're walking away from each other, that's no reason for you not to expect the best. Just saying. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a good holiday if you're here in the Americas. Have a good rest of the week. Have a good month of September. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.